I just want to start us off by saying Kenya is reopening right now, but it's reopening in phases, and we need to brace ourselves, for what is coming. As creatives, we need to relook at the way we are thinking and reviewing our business models, especially in the virtual world and in the online and digital talent. Many of us probably have been doing a lot of work face to face, but now we are moving into this space where we are actually having to go online. We are having to do a lot of digital stuff and shops and everything. And so it's very, very important to sit back for you to be economically viable and to be sustainable over the coming future. You have to rethink your business model and look at it from this perspective, because when we were doing business school during my days, we were taught about the vision, mission, brick and mortar businesses and everything, but now everything is changing. And so this is one of the key things that you'll need to rethink. The other thing is you need to reflect on your Hedgehog concept. And what do I mean by that? From a business perspective, and even as an executive coach, many a times I work with people who come and say, oh, you know what, Sarah, I started this business. Why did you start it? Because I love it. I'm so passionate about it. And today, as Nyambura said, we are talking about your passion. And with creatives, this is the one segment that totally talks about passion. Many creatives start their business because they are passionate about it. And for those who I've coached know very well, I keep saying there are so many passionately poor people. You're so passionate, but you're poor. Why? Because as a creative, we tend to go so much deep into the technical aspect and the creative aspect, we forget to build the business around it. So we end up very creative, very talented, many years in that space, but it's like a hobby. You create a piece, then you create another piece, and people applaud you and they say, good things about you and everything. But you go into that creative's life, they're poor, they're struggling. Profits. They've not understood the concept of profit. Now, I come from business school, so I can tell you for sure, there is a difference between generating revenue and generating profit. And so today, the Hedgehog concept is 3 elements. Number 1, you want to ask yourself, what are you genuinely passionate about? I'm passionate about knitting, or I'm passionate about acting, or I'm passionate about painting, or I'm passionate about interiors, or whatever it is. Now, if I am passionate about it, because passion is fuel, it will help me continue and continue and continue. You have to think, can I be, or do I have the potential to be the 1% of the 1%? If you have a notebook, take that. So if one element is missing in the Hedgehog concept, this is what will happen. You are passionate about something so much and you go and do it because you're talented in it, but you haven't thought about the money, it is just a hobby. If you're passionate about something and you get paid for it, but you really are not talented with it, it is just a dream because it won't last very long. And that's when you start a business and then it drops off. And then finally, if you're really talented at it and somebody is willing to pay you for it, but the passion is not there that will take you for years and years, you will be rich and bored. So this is why I wanted to just introduce you into this piece. If you want to be economically viable, you have to think about this. And then finally, when you're looking at what I call the business model canvas, there are certain elements you must always remember are there. Number 1, you need, who are the key partners? And key partners could be personal, from your life, your father, your brother, or whoever you started with, your husband, your wife, or your sister, or even just a business partner you met in school. If not, if they're not partners in the business, the partners in different ways. Then the next thing, what will be the key activities? And please don't list a whole laundry list. What are 2 or 3 key things that you really do in terms of categories? Then you can break down the categories in a very, very good manner so that you really understand it and can define your activities. I meet many creatives who have a brochure about the product, but nothing else. So it's important that you really list your key activities and your value proposition. What value do you bring to the table? So I might be a cake maker, but I really focus on the design or the baking or the what more than the decorating. So what is the value proposition? Secondly, maybe it's not even the cake that brings so much value in your business. It's your service, the way you serve, or the kind of people that you hire, your key resources. Then look at your customer relationships. How are you going to relate to them, especially post-COVID-19, where it's virtual and everything? How are you maintaining customer relationships? And then the channels that you're going to use. Is it online? Is it offline? Is it a showroom? Is it conferences that you attend and sell your goods? Is it, the way I see people laying out their crafts in different malls like Yaya Center and places like that? And who are your customer segments? I can be in fashion design or beadwork or whatever, but I make specifically for women or specifically for men or specifically for young people. So who are your customer segments? And then lastly, what are the revenue streams that you can have within your business model, not within your craft, within your business model that I asked you to create categories of activities with.
When you've identified your craft, believe in yourself, believe in your product, and stick to your lane. Why do I say stick to your lane? And this is something that I've learned along, as I've been doing business. Initially, when I started, I was a jack of all trades. I was the accountant. Of course, when everybody starts, you start small. I was the accountant, the person shopping, the person stitching, cutting, and doing everything on my own. And of course, I had a bigger vision, because one of the things I also tell people that let's start small, but think big. And when you think big, think global, because every business has a capacity to grow globally, depending on how you manage it and how you believe in it. If you're I used to do curtains. When I said I was doing curtains, I'm doing makeup, I'm doing, necklaces, everything, And as I grew, I got to realize, where is my strength? Where are the areas that people are coming for? As Sarah says, for me, customer service is key. I'm very personal with my clients, and they love it. And that's some of the things that I realized. That's one of the biggest plus for me even to grow my business till to date. Another point that I would just be able to look into, be committed to what you do. There's a saying that says, the only trusted expert, would I say a fundi, is the one that cuts your hair. So it means that anybody else, we are termed as people who are not either keeping our word, or we're not, we don't deliver in time, or we'll tell you we're going to deliver and not deliver. So that's also another area that creatives needs to work on, and that's an area that I decided that I need to work on.
A passion alone will not pay your kids' school fees. Passion alone will not take you to abundance and fulfillment. And just like me, I'll ask you one question that God asked somebody in the Bible. What is in your hands? It is what is in your hands that can turn into a snake, and you pick it and turns into a stick. And that is where your prominence is and your profit.
So some of us, we are very busy. You're talented, you're passionate in your craft, and you know it. You have people all around. They're calling you for advice and guidance. You've even done jobs, for people around, and you have nothing to show for it, especially financially. And at the end of the job, sometimes you do a job, but at the end, you feel like you should have charged more because you're worn out and you're broke. Or you're literally, you're living from hand to mouth, and you can't explain why. And others in your craft seem to be living more comfortable lives. So what are they doing differently, So I want us to look at the 5 mistakes. The 5 mistakes that we must avoid when we are charging. Because how to make money from your craft, we are going straight into the thick. It's in charging. So number 1, undervaluing your expenses. You have to leave your home, you have to go out, you have to do your research, but you undervalue your expenses. Number 2, sympathizing with your clients too much. So you wish with your client. The other thing, number 3, rushing to prepare quotations. So there are times somebody will even send you a template at 4:30 p.m. and tell you, please fill in this template and send it to me tomorrow morning, first thing. And you rush to prepare that quotation. You've not done your research. it doesn't even give you time to look at it critically. Number 4, working without pay. So somebody has not paid your deposit. You know very well you're getting money from your pocket to do this job, and you're still doing the work. You're not sure whether this person will pay you or not. Number 5, having an unsuitable payment plan. Many businesses, many creatives have gone down because of having unsuitable payment plans. So look for a suitable payment plan. Next, I'd like us to look at 5 things you must charge for. Site visits, number 1. Whenever you're leaving your office to go and look at a site or to go critically analyze something, you're doing your client a favor. Charge for it. It's an expense. Number 2, your ideas. This story of give me your proposal, let me look at it, and then I'll get back to you. My friend, you're giving away ideas. How are you charging for it? How are you getting compensated for that? Number 3, in the interior design world, we also have fit-out services, project management and supervision fees. Are you charging for your time when you're on site? Your content. You know, some of us are training. We are writing articles for the newspapers, for magazines. We are writing books. But are you giving your books for free? Respect your craft. Respect the work that goes into it. And if the client is too quick or is harassing you to do something too quick, say, no, I can't. I can't. This is the amount of time I take, because you know your work better than your client. So don't allow your client to dictate what you need to do. You dictate it because you know your work.